Part 405. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 4041. Gusha laughed heartily. While talking at the moment, a sneer swept over his face. While talking, the cruel look in the eyes flashed past. The words are in place, and there is an extremely strong sense of oppression immediately. For a moment, it seemed as if everything in front of him was going to be completely shattered and cleaned up. Excited heart, trembling hands, only by experiencing it personally can we know this clear feeling. After being oppressed for too long, the killing intent in my heart can finally be slowly released at this moment. You forced me. Then don't blame me. It's you who is trying to die. Call. The second-class god of the Protostian city swallowed quite subconsciously, and then released all the power around him. The Lord of Cassius. Help. I want to report. I report that Gusa wants to rebel against you. I want to kill you and become the new generation of Tianlin City Lord. When he was in the Buddha shrine, he forced us Protoss practitioners to use him. Anyone who disagrees will be killed directly. The subordinates have no choice but to succumb to his lust. Master Cassius. Gusha is a rebel. He is a complete rebel. Such rebellion, not punishing, is not enough to stabilize people's hearts. Quaid let out a hasty roar, and then sprinted madly towards the position where Cassius was, and there were even red lights flickering in the depths of his eyes. He is saving himself. If you are not careful, this life will be stranded inside. Now this whole body is shaking crazily. In order to save his life, now he can only hope to pin on the Lord Cassius. Among the Protoss cultivators present, only Cassius and Gusha were in the top demigod realm. In other words, only Cassius can help him. Although the city lord of Cassius is not a thing, he has no choice now. Cassius is equivalent to his life-saving straw. If he doesn't quickly grasp the last straw, he will really die. What? Cassius, the lord of Tianlin City, who was originally focused on the divine ladder, gradually turned his gaze over, with a more or less puzzled look on his face. All of a sudden, streaks of cruelty flickered frantically in his pupils. In Tianlin City, is there anyone who dares to betray him? Damn it! In Tianlin City of the Protoss, he is the only ruler. Who dares to mess around? Kill directly. If you don't even have this kind of momentum, wouldn't you just pull your hips all over the place? Damn stuff. Ancient temple. Is there such a thing? Cassius, the lord of the Protoss Tianlin City, cast his eyes on Gusha and questioned him. You bastard! How dare you talk nonsense? See if this god will not kill you. Gusha snorted coldly, pretending not to hear what Cassius said, and then continued to attack Quaid. Quaid let go of his feet and began to flee desperately. But after all, there are still some flaws in his cultivation base, and now he is more or less unable to grasp it. At this moment, Gusha slapped him on the back. Puff. Quaid spat out a mouthful of blood, and at the same time his body flew wildly in front of him. The whole body was soaked in blood. The whole person even seemed a little foolish, his expression was changing, and his thoughts were completely messed up and he couldn't extricate himself. This wave is completely unknown. Consciousness is moving towards numbness. The strong sense of survival prompted Quaid to persist. He clenched his teeth tightly, the black line on his forehead was about to condense into substance. It is more than words. Castle Master, Cassius City Master. The rebellious heart of the ancient temple is known to all passers-by. Cough, poof. Whirring. He doesn't pay attention to you at all now. Because this subordinate has endless loyalty to you, so he feels unhappy, so he wants to kill me. Master City Master. Even if the subordinates die, they must be loyal to you. Death in battle for the city lord, the subordinates will die without regret. Quaid gradually got better at acting. This wave, no one can stop him. This consciousness surged in every minute. It's husky time. Who the hell can casually collapse consciousness and mentality? This chaotic rhythm was directly suppressed to the extreme. The excited heart, trembling hands, gradually fluttering consciousness, all these seem so real. Now he has no choice. He could only kneel and lick that Tianlin City Lord Cassius. Gu Sha, the first-class god general in Tianlin City, was bound to kill him, and at this moment Quaid could only choose to put all his eggs in one basket. Seeing that Gu Sha, the first-class god general in Tianlin City, ignored him at all, Quaid couldn't help showing a trace of sullenness on his face. Ancient Temple. My city lord asked you something, didn't you hear it? Cassius' temper was already tyrannical, but his tone gradually became worse at this moment. Wait until I kill the bastard Quaid. The first-class god general Gu Sha of Tianlin City waved his hand and continued to obsessively hunt down Quaid. Quaid was about to cry. Oh shit. Back then in the Buddha shrine, he should have been a little bit better. Why do you have to ignite the flames of the bastard Gu Sha's resentment towards him? Now it's alright, this guy just stared at himself, and then he couldn't grasp it at all. Who the hell can resist this kind of crazy consciousness and thoughts? In a matter of minutes, this state of mind will be followed by blood collapse. Grass. What a husky day. The more I think about it now, the more restless and chaotic I feel in my heart. Just when Quaid felt that the god of death had come to him, a pair of powerful hands pulled him aside. Quaid looked up, and saw that Cassius, the lord of Tianlin City, directly lifted his body up in the air, and then threw him into the distance without even looking at him. All the movements are done in one go, appearing very casual and calm. This wave is as stable as ever. That's basically it. Very comfortable and clear. What are you doing? I want to kill him, why did you throw him so far? General Gu Sha, the first-class god of the Protoss Tianlin City, frowned, and then there was a hint of impatience in his tone. At first, Cassius, the lord of the Protoss Tianlin City, thought he had heard wrong. After gradually reacting, Cassius couldn't help clenching his fists tightly. Do you know what the hell you're talking about? Ancient Temple. Kneel down. Cassius roared, he needs to show his kingly majesty. Do what? Cassius, I give you 3 points of face, so you want to open a dyeing workshop. Do you still think that I am the ancient temple that you slaughtered before? Humph. What a joke. The first-class gods of the Protoss Tianlin City gradually floated the ancient temple. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 4042. At this moment, while Gu Sha was talking, he couldn't help but hold his head up and chest out, extremely indifferent. At the moment, there is an extremely strong sense of oppression. This wave, how many are you afraid of? Wouldn't it be better to directly suppress it every minute? The sense of abuse is so strong. For a moment, invincible now. Good. 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 Going to the Buddha shrine, you really turned your back on you. You used to be a pug in front of the city lord. Heh. Is the evil dog going to devour the lord now? It seems that the city lord is going to clean up the portal today. If you don't kill a wicked person like you, it's not enough for the common people. Cassius, the lord of the Protoss Tianlin City, gradually revealed his murderous intent, and then he gritted his teeth silently, with all kinds of shocks fully in place, and then he was about to completely destroy everything in front of him. A battle was inevitable. When Cassius suppressed him with endless power, Gu Sha gradually showed disapproval on his face. Ah! I thought there was some new trick. I didn't expect it to be the same old style. It's all futile. Extremely ridiculous. Gu Sha waved his hand, pretending to be indifferent, but secretly went all out, but from the surface, he blocked Cassius' attack calmly. It seemed so indifferent from beginning to end. This wave is just so arrogant and unruly. What can you do to me? When it's time to be crazy, then you can't be cowardly. This wave is to show an aura of crushing to the extreme. Not much to say about the rest, it is directly oppressive to the extreme. For a while, that's it, arrogant and invincible. War. 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 Invincible. Cool batch. The corner of Cassius's mouth twitched, seeing his attack being neutralized so casually by Gu Sha, he couldn't hold back. In front of so many Protoss generals, I feel somewhat ashamed. The corners of Cassius' mouth twitched, and the dull look on his face was beyond words. This guy is really up. Really answered that sentence. 30 years in Hedong and 30 years in Hexi? Damn. Damn. This time the idea is in place, quite a sense of extreme irritability. Irritable to the extreme, it's like completely obliterating everything in front of me. Whom can I tell you about that kind of mood? Hateful. Hateful. Cassius is lonely, but Gu Sha is happy. At the beginning, he was still a little uneasy, thinking that he might not be able to beat Cassius. After all, this old guy is still powerful. This old guy has suppressed him for so many years, but there are still some shadows in Gu Sha's heart. Of course, now, this so-called shadow has already disappeared without a trace. At this moment, there is only endless excitement in my heart frantically gathering. Happy. Looting to the extreme. Cassius. Stop. You have to admit, you are old. Your era is gradually coming to an end. If you are willing to help me, I promise that if you use the ladder to create a path to becoming a god in the future, you will be guaranteed a place to become a god. Gu Sha held her head high, and gradually became proud. At this moment, his eyes are full of trembling, and the ladder is trembling when he speaks. The ghost knows how excited he is at the moment. This is a completely new era for him. To be honest, it is impossible to be truly indifferent. The extremely surging mood is about to burst out directly. Damn, it's too exciting. Invincible at the moment, let alone tell anyone. At this moment, I am trying to test a little bit, and then I will completely wipe out everything in front of me. The last one completely followed the coolness. Cool. 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 With this kind of feeling, it can be called invincible, isn't it? This wave is to have this kind of excruciating pleasure. Rebels dare to be presumptuous. Humph. Even if it's a coincidence, so what if you break into the supreme demigod realm? The city lords tens of thousands of years of comprehension in the supreme demigod realm, how can you be comparable? Traitor, must die. Boom. Whizzing. Cassius, the lord of Protoss Tianlin City, has launched a new round of attack. Cassius and Gu Sha are both at the top of the demigod realm, and they really fought on par for a while. At least at this moment, no one can match it. In the worst case, let's go to war directly. What's the matter? If you are unhappy, let's fight. Right now, the two top demigods of the Protoss, plus the two top demigods of the Temple of the Alliance of Light, are fighting each other. How can this scene be seen under normal circumstances? There were bursts of exclamations from around. This is so exciting. Invisibly, all kinds of extreme refreshing feelings have been completely out of control. The taste in it, let me tell you. At this moment, these supreme demigods are fighting each other, which gives Fang Fan some breathing space. Boy Fang Fan, the harvest has been counted. If you count the god stones alone, there are a total of 950,000 pieces. I'll go, this wave is really fat. It's so cool. While Bai Piao was talking, his whole body trembled. 1 God Stone is equivalent to 10,000 God Stone fragments. 1.8 million Divine Stones are 9.5 billion Divine Stone fragments. What kind of astronomical figure is this? Countless, really countless. The whole person is numb at the moment. Are the fragments of the Divine Stone worth hundreds of millions now? With hundreds of millions of people? Combined with some of the energy gained from dissolving the angel's heart, there will be almost 1 million Divine Stones, that is, tens of billions of Divine Stone fragments. After having so many sacred stones, the first thing must be to strengthen myself. After all, there are many crises now. If you are not careful, you will be suppressed. Fang Fan's eyes swept across the surrounding area. Now those few top demigods are staring at him. According to Fang Fan's current combat power, it is no problem to resist 1 or 2 top demigods. If there are too many, some can't grasp it. This wave, we must be steady. Among the top 10 legions under my command, the Blood Shura Legion, the Titan Warriors Legion, and the Gothic Destroyer Gatling Legion have been promoted to the weak demigod state. The remaining 7 legions are still in the quasi-demigod realm. This wave, continue to advance. Fang Fan's eyes lit up, and he didn't hesitate anymore. Anyway, the God Stone in his hand is enough now. Promote those 7 quasi-demigod level legions to weak demigod level first. Ding. Consuming 85,000 sacred stones, we have successfully purchased 8.5 trillion exclusive promotion cards for the holy level, and 7 quasi-demigod level legions have been successfully promoted to the weak semi-god level. So far, Fang Fan's top 10 legions have all been promoted to the weak demigod realm. And at this moment, Fang Fan still has more than 900,000 God Stones in his hand. Rough calculations, almost 7 legions can be promoted to the strong demigod realm. If there are still 3 weak and semi-divine legions left, let's take it easy. As far as the current situation is concerned, 7 strong demigod realm legions are completely enough. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 4043. Fang Fan thought to himself, and then began to select those legions who wanted to be promoted to the strong demigod realm. Yellow Turban Sanctuary Warlock Legion. Weak Demigod Realm. Gothic Destroyer God Gatling Legion. Weak and Semi-God State. Law Demigod Artillery Legion. Weak and Semi-God State. Sanctuary Silver Dragon Knight Legion. Weak Demigod Realm. Seraphim Legion. Weak Demigod. Abyss Demon King Legion. Weak and Half-God Realm. Ruling the Unicorn Sacred Beast Legion. Weak Demigod. Titan Warrior Legion. Weak and Semi-God Realm. Dragon Knight Legion. Weak Demigod. Blood Azura Legion, Weak Demigod. Fang Fan's eyes swept around the surrounding area, with a thoughtful look on his face. It is not so tangled to choose 7 legions to advance to the strong demigod realm. Temporarily put the Sky Dragon Knight Legion, Judgment Unicorn Saint Beast Legion and Abyss Demon King Legion on hold for promotion. The remaining 7 legions, all promoted. Fang Fan licked his lips, a strange look flickered in his eyes. Ding. Consumed 860,000 divine stones to successfully purchase 86 trillion holy level exclusive promotion cards, 7 weak demigod level legions are being promoted. Ding. The Yellow Turban Sanctuary Warlock Legion and the Sanctuary Silver Dragon Knight Legion are currently upgrading in the direction of the Legion. Ding. Do you want to consume 2 Legion upgrade cards to advance to the direction of the Legion? Consume. Ding. The Yellow Turban Sanctuary Warlock Legion can be upgraded to Yellow Turban Magician Legion, Yellow Turban God Summoner Legion. Ding. Please choose the host. There are only two directions to choose: the Yellow Turban Magician Legion and the Yellow Turban God Summoner Legion. The strong should have been strengthened to a certain extent on the basis of the warlocks of the Yellow Turban Sanctuary, mainly warlocks, mainly to help the Legion to increase some auxiliary gains, and in addition to add some negative effects to the enemy, similar to curses, corrosion, mental confusion, etc. As for the Yellow Turban Summoner Legion, it is not difficult to understand, that is, they can summon some special creatures to fight. Fang Fan narrowed his eyes, thinking a lot in his mind. Different directions represent different needs. The Yellow Turban Sanctuary Warlock Legion hasn't played much recently. Maybe it's time to consider a new direction. Following this new direction to develop in an all-round way. Maybe there will be some new gains. Choose the promotion direction, Yellow Turban God Summoner Legion. Ding. The Yellow Turban Sanctuary Warlock Legion of the Weak and Semi-God Realm has been successfully promoted to the Yellow Turban God Summoner Legion. Ding. The Sanctuary Silver Dragon Knight Corps can be promoted to Dragon God Legion, Dragon God Knight Legion, and Undead God Dragon Knight Legion. These three promotion directions seem somewhat ambiguous. The Dragon Army. Man and Dragon as one? Become a Dragon Man? Then fight? The Dragon God Knight Legion should be similar to the Sanctuary Silver Dragon Knight Legion, it can be regarded as an upgraded version. As for the Undead Dragon Knight Legion, it is more inclined to develop towards the undead system. After thinking about it again and again, Fang Fan looked at Shenlongmen Legion. He is very optimistic about this direction. Promote to the Dragon Army. Ding. The weak demigod realm Silver Dragon Knight Legion has been successfully promoted to the Shenlong Gran Legion. The Shenlong Gran Legion was promoted from the Silver Dragon Knight Legion. The predecessor of the Silver Dragon Knight Legion was the Black Dragon Knight Legion, and the Black Dragon Knight Legion should have been the Bone Dragon Knight Legion at the beginning. And this legion has the largest number of people, with 18 people. At this moment, the Dragon Army has fully changed its costume. Dragon Man Legion, Evolvable. Level, Strong Demigod Realm. Number of people, 18. Commander, Dragon Scale. Skills, Dragon Bloodline, Impassable Thrust, Dragon Roaring in the Wild. Exclusive skill Human Dragon Unity. After using Human Dragon Unity, the combat power can be increased by 1 level, the duration is 1 hour, and the cooldown time is 24 hours. Loyalty, 100. The biggest advantage for the Shenlong Gran Legion lies in this exclusive skill Human Dragon Unity. At a glance, it really looks like a bug. And it's that kind of invincible bug. Watching and watching, the whole person will be immersed in it and cannot extricate themselves. This time, his thoughts were wandering, his consciousness was surging, and his breathing became more and more rapid. At this moment, that kind of nervousness is flying in full swing. Invincible at the moment, let alone tell anyone. The consciousness is disturbed, the thoughts are surging, and the more I think about it, the more excited I become. Gradually, it was indeed difficult to control myself. After using the Human Dragon Fusion exclusive skill, all the Dragon Knights can be combined into one, and then they can increase their combat power by a level. Now that they are strong in the demigod realm, can they display the ultimate demigod combat power? And it lasts an hour, which is long enough for a long fight. The cooling off period is only 24 hours. This skill is completely prepared for the current battle situation. The Human Dragon Unity exclusive skill of the Shenlong Gran Legion is similar to the Sura Unity Legion of the Blood Shura Corps, but Sura Unity requires 7 Blood Shuras to gather to form an ultimate body. A legion it can only be regarded as a combat force. And the Human Dragon Unity exclusive skill only needs a knight and a dragon to successfully match and unite. At that time, if the Shenlong Gran Legion breaks out in an all-round way, it will be able to instantly raise the combat power of the 18 Shenlong Gran by 1 level, from a strong demigod to an absolute peak demigod. According to theory, this is indeed the case. In this way, isn't it directly invincible? After all, there are only a few top demigods present. Is this crisis resolved so easily? The corners of Fang Fan's mouth rose slightly, and he looked very calm at the moment. From the beginning to the end, there was no pressure at all. He has already taken control of the overall situation at this moment. Let them go together, there is a high probability that they will not be the opponents of the Shenlong Grand Legion, who has used the exclusive Legion skill of Human Dragon Unity. Except for the name, this dragon army is in perfect shape in every other respect. There's really nothing to say about this wave of luck. Fang Fan thought to himself, and couldn't help nodding silently at this moment. The excitement in the depths of my heart gradually approached, and everything was silent. Such a taste, it feels very comfortable for a while. At this moment, the sacred stone in Fang Fan's hand also declared that the land was almost emptied. In exchange, there were 7 strong demigod-level legions and 3 weak demigod-level legions. This lineup is absolutely luxurious. At the moment, the Protoss and the Temple of the Alliance of Light have long been fighting with each other, and only the Temple of Darkness has remained silent for the time being. After all, the Pope of the Dark Temple and the first-class Saint Mo-Tien of the Dark Temple are brothers. You can't fight right after meeting, can you? Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 4044. Right now they should be regarded as the most coordinated pair. Of course, they can't stay there all the time, they always feel that they should do something. In this way, all kinds of feelings in the heart can silently follow. The feeling of floating thoughts became more and more intense. Gradually, the picture in front of me is also frantically fluttering, and everything goes without saying. Brother, when will you do it? Mo-Tien, the first-class saint in the Dark Temple, couldn't hold back anymore. Are you sure all the magic ladders are on that Fang Fan? Is there nothing missing? Don't let others secretly play tricks on Chen Kang. I always feel like something's not quite right. I don't know what's wrong in my heart, I just feel a little flustered. Since the Dark Pope Mo-Tu can sit in this position and frighten endless demons, can he be an ordinary person? As the Dark Pope, what dark things have you not seen? Is this still a thing? To put it bluntly, in fact, I didn't care much about it in my heart. It's definitely not a small thing to make him panic. Brother, what's wrong with you? You were not like this before. You used to be so smug, now, how come you are so timid now? As soon as the Dark Temple waited, the Saint Motion became anxious, and then couldn't help complaining from the side. The speaker frowned, looking quite dissatisfied. You do not understand. Before you entered the Buddha Palace, I didn't feel anything at all. I could even push everyone horizontally. But not now. I have to be more rigorous. This Buddha shrine is too weird. You strong demigods have become top demigods. Other cultivators have basically been promoted to 1 to 3 levels. And since Fang Fan can get all the magic ladders, he must be extraordinary. Didn't you say it before? The little girl next to him has successfully promoted to the pseudo-god realm, and has ascended to the throne. These all need attention. We can't afford to gamble now. If you lose the bet, you lose everything. This road is covered with dripping blood. Do you understand what I said? The whispering sound followed in place, and the picture in the eyes gradually became blurred. Taking a deep breath at this moment, all kinds of consciousness are a little out of control. At the moment when the thought was completely suppressed, the blood in the heart gradually dispersed. Must pay attention to more. So what? Are we just going to stay here and do nothing? What is this? It's boring, it's too boring. Brother, if you do this, I want to fight you. Mo-Tien rolled his eyes, and couldn't help complaining. Fancy, comprehensive, messy, endless. That's it? What a humming bastard. It's not impossible to attack. Wealth and wealth are sought in insurance. Our dark temple now has 3 supreme demigods sitting in it. The dark Pope Motu licked his lips, feeling a little excited. Where are the 3? Just us 2 big brothers. If we take action against that Fang Fan, it's not bad that killing Shura doesn't help. People think that Fang Fan has pure Shura blood flowing through him, and they still want to recognize him as their master. If it wasn't for killing Shura and coming to the Buddha Palace to do bad things, I would have killed Fang Fan a long time ago. Why wait until now? Snort. This guy has a lot on his mind now. The cold snort swept across in place, and the picture in front of him was fully unfolded. At the moment, Motion's words are full of complaints. Brother. I told you at the beginning, people who are not of my race will have a different heart. I knew this guy is not a good thing. Now look, has it become like this? Brother, you just don't understand. Why? Brother, your ability to argue is not good either. Crotch pulling. Looking at it now, it's really humming hip pulling. Garbage to the max. There were more complaints, and at this moment, the eyeballs were flying to the extreme, and the thoughts were deep, and they were completely contained. Basically that's the case. The situation is clear and the will is strong. For the rest, basically no problem. Be safe now. Kill Shura. Come here. The dark Pope Motu looked at Kill Shura, and then called out. Killing Shura's face looked even more indifferent at this moment. He hesitated for a moment, then walked over with a strange light in his eyes. Is His Majesty the Pope looking for something for me? Killing Shura is straightforward. If it's okay, can't I come to see you? Between you and me, there's no need to do those silly things, right? You should know what I want to say. I won't go around in circles with you anymore, I'll explain it to you directly. While Mo2 was talking, he immediately stared at Kill Shura. For a time, there seemed to be a strong unity of opposites between the two. Fang Fan is the direct descendant of my Azura clan. The purity of the Shura blood on his body is higher than mine. According to the rules of our Shura clan, I must protect him. Kill Shura said directly. What if I want to deal with him? Are you going to take action against the Pope? The dark Pope Motu's eyes flashed, and then he said directly, his words were filled with a sense of abuse. Me. Killing Shura took a deep breath, his consciousness was a little dim, his eyes flickered, and an extremely complicated expression appeared on his face. The more I think about it, the more complicated this feeling becomes at this moment. It is more than words. This wave, of course, will follow as steadily as Mount Tai. Otherwise, there will be big problems. If the rhythm is not stable, it will completely collapse. In this way, it is too boring. Facing the Dark Pope Mo2 is different from facing Mo Tien. As far as killing Shura is concerned, there is no friendship between him and Motion. It doesn't matter if they fight against each other. It is normal to fight when you are upset. But the Dark Pope Demon 2 did have a favor for killing Shura back then. At least, there is the grace of not killing. As I said before, the Dark Temple controlled the entire Shura clan. Under the circumstances at that time, Mo2 could completely wipe out their Shura clan. This thing is very real. But the Dark Pope at that time did not do this, not only let them go, but also let him kill Shura to become the first-class saint of the Dark Temple. Under the circumstances at that time, isn't this considered a grace of not killing? These thoughts gradually gathered in his mind, killing Shura's eyes seemed to be struggling. All kinds of emotions turned in his mind, and he didn't even know what to do. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 4045. One side is the grace of not killing. One side is the mission of the Shura clan. These messy feelings exploded in his heart, gradually making him numb, agitated, and a little incomprehensible. All consciousness seems to be cold at this moment. Chaos. 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 It is more than words. The more I think about it, the more it doesn't feel right. Immediately, all consciousness was completely silenced. I don't see anything. I don't have to. But I will not choose to slaughter my compatriots of the Shura clan. Since then, the Shura clan and the Dark Temple have been cleared up. Killing Shura's body trembled slightly, and his thoughts gradually gathered in his mind, and gradually felt that the picture in front of him was a bit unreal. The messy feeling is actually not that good. Gradually, it seemed that the entire body was being dismembered. The pain was mixed with a touch of numbness. Good. There was a hint of hostility in the dark Pope Motu's eyes. Obviously, he was not very satisfied with the result. But he is also very clear that things can only go so far. If the threat of oppression is urgently needed, it may arouse the resentment of killing Shura. You know, the current killing Shura is an existence of the Supreme God realm no matter what. The cultivation base and combat power are there, what else is there to say about the rest? Crazy consciousness, silent now. Basically no problem. At least physically, it looks very stable, very stable. All over the body, Bashi is as good as ever. In the moment of silence, the smiles continue. Hold on, there is hope. Only by being stable can you be qualified to fantasize. After leaving aside the blocker of killing Shura, many things actually became logical. Motion, let's fight together later. Let the hundreds of cultivators in the Dark Temple also take action. Remember, we only have one shot. Once you make a move, you must kill me with one blow. Do you understand what I mean? This matter must be clarified to me. What I said is clear enough. The Dark Pope Motu narrowed his eyes, and then said directly. This matter is very realistic. Basically, a series of things followed. As stable as Mount Tai, there is no big problem. Do not worry. Brother. I've made some inquiries, Fang Fan is only a little more difficult to deal with the two strong demigods from the Protoss. When the time comes, I will stand up. Brother, you can just focus on that Fang Fan directly. Hold him hostage, and then take away his storage ring. All his treasures must be in his storage ring. It must be. This matter is very clear. The murmuring sound followed, and the picture in front of me gradually became disillusioned. While thoughts are flying, consciousness is dying little by little. Such a heart, let alone talk to anyone. Rhythm, steady now. Your Majesty, my lord, I think you'd better think about it. Think about it, how long have we been against this Fang Fan? But so far, have we really gained any benefits? Is there? Does it exist? From beginning to end, isn't it still like this? This Fang Fan has endless great luck. This kind of great luck is already very clear here, and there is nothing to say about the rest. Everything is completely over. Anyway, in the end, I don't think there will be any good results. Is there any need to continue with such meaningless things? The sound of emotion swept in place, and the picture in front of him was also flipping little by little, his thoughts were wandering, and his consciousness was being destroyed little by little. At this moment, Madman, the number one son of the Dark Temple, spoke seriously. Between the words, the thoughts are completely in place. Madness. You can shut up now. Dare to say anything nonsense. If you don't speak, no one will think you are dumb. The face of the first-class Saint Motion in the Dark Temple changed, and he immediately scolded at the side. The anger on his face was beyond words at this moment, the sense of oppression was gradually in place, and his mood seemed a little unstable. The madman shrugged, he knew this was the result. But he has already reminded, this is enough. For the rest, there is no need to follow up. This kind of thing, in fact, is good to understand in your heart. The rest of those that are missing are actually sand sculptures, meaningless at all. I have already done my best. As for whether you are willing to accept my opinion, that is your business. Well, I have done what I should do. That's enough. The rest, I don't think about it for the time being. Never mind. The murmuring sound followed, and the madman sighed, then found a place by himself and got up. What could he do if they were unwilling to believe his words? For him, naturally he can only retreat, and then weep silently there? It seemed very, very real. The emotional side also seems very appropriate. The rest of those feelings, relatively speaking, are not that important. The battle has finally begun. Fang Fan. Just grab it. Hand over all the divine ladders, or your life may be saved. The first saint in the Dark Temple, Mo Tien, rushed over first, and while talking, his body couldn't help shaking, and the excitement in his eyes was beyond words. Excited right now? Is it still the same old line? Hey, it's not interesting. Why do you want to come here to die? What do you think? The point is, when is it not good to attack me? Why should you attack me at this time? Isn't this a sand sculpture? Fang Fan raised his eyebrows, and a sneer appeared on the corner of his mouth. While talking at the moment, the venom in his eyes flickered to the extreme. This wave is very realistic and real. Everything, silence now. Basically not a big problem. As long as you stay steady, none of this is a problem. Fang Fan glanced around and saw 7 strong demigod-level legions and 3 weak demigod-level legions under his command, feeling extremely secure in his heart. Hans. Order the Gothic Gatling army to get ready. As long as they rush over, just shoot directly. Let's shoot a wave first. As for the rest, we can talk about it later, it's okay. Fang Fan licked his lips, stretched his waist, his eyes flickered, and his thoughts were wandering a little bit. There are feelings, there are consciousnesses, and there are thoughts. All of these are coming to an end. It is more than words. Be safe now, and there is no need to toss about the rest. If you want to fight, hurry up. If you don't fight, just get out. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 4046. Fang Fan snorted coldly, there was no such thing as trouble in this wave. Seeing that you are upset, this consciousness is directly overwhelmed. Then crush it in place, directly crushing you to the bottom of the valley. That's basically it. Very realistic and clear. The rest are minor issues. Various rhythms, stable and present. Boy. So arrogant. It seems that you really want to die. If you want to die, I will satisfy you. Snored. Everyone. Give it to me. Catch Fang Fan. The rewards are endless. Mo Tien, the first-class saint in the Dark Temple, was talking, and the fierceness in his eyes flickered with the whole area. At this moment, the sense of oppression swept to the extreme in the words. Immediately, everything in front of him was wiped out. An excited heart and trembling hands can only understand this feeling after experiencing it personally. Very real and realistic. Stand still, and you'll have everything. Seeing hundreds of Dark Temple practitioners rushing directly, Mo Tien showed a refreshed look on his face. Everything is safe as before. This wave, definitely no problem. All screens are locked. My heart also slowly became happy. At the moment, I can't help but feel a sense of joy and happiness. Boom. Bang bang bang. Just when Motion felt that everything was going according to his wishes, the scene suddenly got out of control. Those special weapons began to spray flames, and the flames sprayed out little by little, completely engulfing everything in front of them. For a moment, a sense of panic swept through the depths of my heart. What else can I say about the rest of those feelings? Gradually, it completely disappeared. The feeling is gone, the consciousness has collapsed, and those who are missing are still talking about a hammer. Basically, that's it. Very smooth, very oppressive. Motion felt that he had just blinked his eyes, and then everything in front of him changed accordingly, becoming strange to him and frightening to him. Why did they all fall down? Impossible. Fake. It must be fake. Blindfolding. It must be blindfolding. Asshole. Asshole. Why did it become like this? Who is it? Who is confusing the saint? Motien yelled frantically. What happened to the hundreds of Protoss cultivators who had gathered around him? What the hell, there was not one left, all fell down, most of them died, and there were still a few strong demigods still struggling to breathe. But looking at it like that, it's almost the same. This attack, actually has the power of a strong demigod. The most important thing is that the shooting speed is so fast. How so? What the hell is going on in here? Why? They were obviously not so powerful before. Why every time I see it, it will show a different power? Have they been hiding all this time? Huh. If this is the case, it would be too scary. Conspiracy. It's all a conspiracy. In this way, we can see through everything. So that's how it is, that's how it is. I said, how did it become what it is now? This matter can't be left alone. Revenge. Revenge. Everyone has to die. Everyone has to die. At this moment, Motion's mood seemed to be a little broken, and he was about to lose his temper when he shouted. Snapped. There was a loud slap, and Motien got a big slap on the face. Who dares to hit me? Motien turned his head angrily, and immediately saw his elder brother Mo2 looking at him indifferently. Don't act like a lunatic. I haven't figured out the situation yet, why are you shouting? Is this necessary? Be quiet. Now you rush up, don't you die. This group of people has become a climate. But it's not impossible to deal with. The Dark Pope Mo2 narrowed his eyes, thinking to himself, and gradually closed his hands. Brother, all our subordinates are dead. This brat is too cruel. There really wasn't a single one left. Butcher. This kid is clearly a butcher. Kill everything in front of you. Asshole. All assholes. Brother, I can't swallow this breath. Brother. I think I have to do something. Brother, this matter can't just be buried like this. Brother. Motion was considered a strong party before, and he was also very strong in all aspects. But now it's screaming like a child. That crying face looked like a sand sculpture. In front of his elder brother, isn't he just a child? In all aspects, do you still have a sense of spiritual sustenance? Probably this kind of consciousness and emotion, very real and very clear. I know. Aren't you thinking of a way now? You can shut up. Stop talking nonsense. Just stay there for me. I asked you before, did you investigate their situation clearly? How did you reply to me then? You swore at the time that everything was done. Now make it look like this. Are you still reasonable? Damn thing. Asshole. What's the point of rushing straight over now? It's meaningless other than sending a human head. This Fang Fan is no longer the Fang Fan you imagined. In the temple of the Buddha, he was able to win all the divine ladders, and even the little girl beside him could ascend into the realm of the gods. Are these things ordinary people can do? It is definitely not enough to rely on the power of our dark temple now. At the moment, we must rely on the strength of all parties. This is the most important thing. The rest, you don't have to care about it at all. This matter must be stabilized, steady again. If you are a little careless, you will pull it all over. The murmuring sound followed, and the Pope Motu of the Dark Temple clenched his fists, and then his eyes swept around, ready to start looking for allies. In this case, without allies, he couldn't handle it. You guys, stop hitting. Is it more important to fight, or to seize the divine ladder and create a divine path? If you really entered the realm of the gods, what's the point of your so-called conflict of spirit? I came all the way here, don't you know why? The dark Pope Motu snorted coldly, and immediately felt oppressive. Immediately afterwards, he changed his gaze and looked at the Protoss. Translate. Quickly translate. Tell them everything I say. These bastards. They don't understand anything. That Fang Fan has quietly risen. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 4047. The dark Pope Motu licked his lips and began to speak eagerly. He already felt something was wrong. If you don't grasp it well now, you will really have a big problem. And obviously, none of this was what he wanted. For a top-notch demigod like him, there is actually only one thought now, and that is to ascend to the realm of the gods. Moreover, it has been too long since he was promoted to the top of the demigod realm, and he has exhausted all his potential. He has tried various methods, but he just can't break the bottleneck at all. Gradually, the whole person became depressed. It can even be said that they have given up hope. But now, there is an excellent hope in front of you. As long as you grasp it, you can take off in an all-round way. In my heart, where can I refuse? This wave is taking off in an all-round way. Exciting to the extreme. Those magic ladders in Fang Fan's hands are his last hope. If this last hope is missed, I don't know what will happen in the future. Excited heart, trembling hands, only by experiencing it personally can one know the ultimate sense of surprise. All kinds of feelings in my heart gradually gathered, and the forehead was covered with cold sweat, and the stimulation was boundless. The sense of ceremony is in place. After a wave of pulling is in place, doesn't the limit consciousness follow? Beautiful, I feel beautiful immediately. In this way, even if he pays any price, he will take down everything. Take those divine ladders in Fang Fan's hands. The Dark Pope Mo2 had spoken, and at this moment the Light Pope Yuan Hanlin, the first-class saint of the Temple of the Light Alliance, the first-class God General Gusha of the Protoss, and Cassius, the Lord of the Tianlin city of the Protoss, stopped fighting. Although they both see each other unhappy, it's really not interesting to fight each other. Calling back and forth, after all, the benefits are the most fragrant. Why, isn't it the divine ladder? Get the magic ladder and take off in one wave, aren't you happy? This kid really has an evil nature. I saw it before, but I didn't expect it to become more and more evil now. Call. It made me a little unfamiliar. I'm afraid this kid is really the reincarnation of a true god. Wang Tu, the first-class saint in the Temple of the Alliance of Light, twitched his mouth and said secretly. It's useless to say that now. Nowadays, he has become popular, and the god ladder is in his hands. If we want to create a god way, we really can only rely on him. Asshole. This feeling of depending on others is really uncomfortable. Damn it. I don't want to bear this wave. Click, click. There were bursts of brittle bones, and the gleam in his eyes kept flickering. While talking at this moment, his eyes shone to the extreme. The mind of Guangming Pope Yuan Hanlin was also slightly shaken. Kill him. Take the divine ladder. Such a simple truth. Cassius, the lord of the Protostian city, had a fiery temper, and he was about to charge forward. Sand sculpture. If it's that easy, can it be your turn? You follow and stop. Things are not as simple as you think. If that wasn't the case, would those foreigners still let you intervene? This Fang Fan is very strong now. Did you see it? There are hundreds of corpses of foreigners on the ground, and there are also some demigods among them. Now, they're all dead. It's not easy to kill him. I've tried it many times before. Gushat, the first-class god general of the Protostian city, has some experience now. While talking, he shook his head helplessly. This wave is so real, the rest, can you say a hammer? If you can't break your mentality, you will be blinded in vain. No point, really no point. That's why, we have to unite. Humph. What the foreigner said is not unreasonable. If you really have the opportunity to enter the realm of the gods, these so-called power struggles in the lower realm are meaningless. I never cared about these. All I care about is God's domain. Gussa, what do you mean? Cassius, the lord of Tianlin city of the Protoss, wanted to come here to clear up his past suspicions. The meaning to be expressed in these words is also very clear. Anyway, even if there is a fight, he is not sure that he can kill Gusha in a short time. After all, they are all at the top of the semi-god realm, and the gap between them is very small, to be honest. This is where it feels most helpless. Things have developed to this point, and it's really too far-fetched to talk about what's there and what's not. Instead of wasting time here with a few infighting, it's better to rush in and find a way to ascend to the realm of God. Relying on my own strength, it is too difficult to achieve what I want. It can even be said that it cannot be done at all. Right now, we can only count on the divine ladder. A total of 6 supreme demigods from the Temple of the Light Alliance, the Temple of Darkness, and the Protoss looked at each other, and they had reached a comprehensive unity of consciousness for a while. If we go together, can't we win Fang Fan? Oh. Anyway, I don't believe it. There's nothing to fear now. Once you're upset, go up and do it. It doesn't matter at all. Suppression. Comprehensive suppression. The posture of gnashing teeth was revealed, and then the footsteps also appeared crooked. Deep in his heart, the tense consciousness slowly dissipated. Now everyone has only one goal, and that is to kill Fang Fan and seize the divine ladder. Invincible. Teacher, they are trying to shoot at you. Teacher, be careful. There is no good person in this group of bastards. Teacher, I will defend you later, you should evacuate quickly. Call. Taishaji took a deep breath, and there was a hint of hostility in his eyes. While talking at the moment, consciousness gradually fluttered. Knowing that this was a dead end, Taishaji still wanted to stand in front of Fang Fan without hesitation. Master-student relationship, needless to say. Master. What do you say you are so stupid to worry about? You big disciple has already taken off. Didn't you see it just now? How powerful are these legions under Fang Fan's hands? Ah. This wave seems to be quite interesting. Everything is proceeding according to the established steps /. Interesting, really interesting. Everything is sweeping like mountains and seas. I reckon that the god stones we worked so hard to get from the air just now have been used up by Fang Fan. Otherwise, these legions under his command have no reason to be so strong. If you talk about other people's words, I may not be very clear, but I know Fang Fan's words very well. If we really can't beat him, this kid would have led us away long ago. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 4048. Bai Piao can enter the chatterbox mode anytime and anywhere. And from time to time, the more I talk, the more excited I get. muttering, "This guy is not tired. Anyway, he's always been very shy." Teacher, what Bipiao said, I can only believe half of it. Although this guy is often out of tune, but his guesses about you seem to have been verified one by one. Are you really ready for everything? If the opposite side unites, there will be 6 supreme demigods. That's a demigod. This is not something you can fight against with a lot of strong demigods. Once the Judeon demigod launches its power, it can even directly mobilize the laws of the gods between the heaven and the earth to attack you. Can you understand this feeling? Even if you keep it, what if one of the top demigods insists on rushing in to kill you? Teacher, you have to think of all these. This is no child's play. A little carelessness will really cause problems. There will be big problems. This rhythm is directly out of order, okay. Gudong. The posture of swallowing saliva gradually followed. Tai Shuja became a little nervous. His precious apprentice is getting stronger and stronger now, and he can provoke the top demigods at every turn. And it doesn't matter if you don't provoke them, it's 6 if you provoke them. Who can stand this? Master, don't worry, I have a sense of proportion. Isn't he the ultimate demigod? They have, and we are not bad. Fang Fan yawned, and then looked at the strong demigod dragon army. When they cast the Legion exclusive skills of human dragon unity, they can directly increase a level out of thin air, and directly possess the ultimate demigod combat power. And in the dragon army, there are 18 pairs of dragons and corresponding knights. Although human dragon unity Legion exclusive skills also have a time limit of 1 hour. But this stuff, is it a thing? It's not a problem. The kind that don't care at all. At a glance, the whole person gradually became light and ethereal. What else is there to say? The bones all over the body feel gradually lighter by 3 points. Invisibly, that kind of flattering feeling makes you distracted. Isn't that what you want? Experience it, say yes. If you feel it, and your consciousness is clear, don't you have everything? For the rest, I can only do my best and obey the destiny. Have you discussed it? Want to launch an attack? The speed can be accelerated a little. If you want to attack me, you can do it directly now. Fang Fan yawned, and this time he started to provoke directly. Solve the battle early, so as not to waste time here. It's really not interesting. Crazy kid. Snort. It's really arrogant. I want to die early. This saint will help you. Wang Tu, the first-class saint in the Temple of the Alliance of Light, yelled a few times, and what he said was nice and domineering, but his footsteps didn't move him at all. From the beginning to the end, it was still circling there in an all-round way. Sand sculpture consciousness felt more and more intense. For the rest of those who are missing, let's talk about a few. If you are cold at the moment, let's talk to someone. The end may also be the new life of a brand new series. The more times he was beaten, the Wang disciple also became smarter. I would rather be a strong talker than go out and give away a few heads. Those blood lessons before are enough. It's understandable to be a little wretched now. At this moment, Wang Tu found that everyone around him was looking at him with a look of anticipation, as if they hoped that he would rush out to operate a wave. Watch me doing. Wang Tu was speechless. Didn't you say you were going out to teach Fang Fan a lesson? We're all here to cheer you on. Well. Now, you can go straight up. Going up is pounding. Mo Tien nodded, deeply convinced. Wang Tu. Co-author, you want me to fight to the death with that brat Fang Fan? Then you just sit back and reap the benefits? Oh shit. Why is the mind so vicious? Hateful. Asshole. The posture of gnashing his teeth was fully displayed, and the black lines on his forehead flickered to the extreme. Let's go up, everyone. You don't want to seize the divine ladder, create a divine path, and then ascend to the divine realm. If you've got this in mind, there's nothing to say. Be smart. Hurry up. What do you have to do here to dawdle? It doesn't make sense at all. Everyone work harder. Dry. Just looking at each other here, can we take off? Ah. Isn't what I said clear enough? Get it all done. Wang Tu couldn't wait any longer. What a pain to stay here now. Do you feel like your whole body is being restrained? This feeling, this taste, is too numb. Asshole. Damn again. After much deliberation, I don't even know how to act. If this operation is not good, won't it be followed by Liangbo? Difficult to go to the blue sky. After a wave, this mentality must be stable. This is the most important thing. Excited heart, trembling hands, you will know if you have experienced it. If you don't have any experience, you can only talk about it blindly. In that case, it really doesn't make any sense. Everyone work together. Go straight to the dragon. Kill. Wangtu is right, if you continue to delay, you may change. Let's move together. The posture of gnashing teeth followed by a full concentration, and the murderous intent in the eyes suddenly appeared a little serious. While talking at the moment, his footsteps moved forward little by little. Stake to the present idea, unswervingly launch a fierce charge towards the front. Sprint. Keep on sprinting. The 6 supreme demigods, plus thousands of cultivators from other realms, just surrounded them directly. There is an endless desire to kill in their respective eyes. This time, this brat should die, right? Call. After tossing and tossing for so long, finally, I can finally get what I want. Good. Good. Excellent. Kill. 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 Rush over. The roar seemed to tear the world apart. 6 top demigods shot at the same time. The movement and effect caused by that is also extremely strong. This time, I can obviously feel the waves of the earth shaking. This comes from the top demigods of the 3 forces, and their current consciousness is unprecedentedly unified. This time, it was to kill Fang Fan. In order to kill Fang Fan, you can do whatever it takes. Kill without mercy. Kill without mercy. The red eyeballs pushed this consciousness to the peak. The bloody battle is on. Very good. It happened to be sent together. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 4049. Fang Fan smiled slightly, feeling a sense of relaxation at the moment. In fact, Fang Fan felt a bit hesitant to let him slaughter this group of people without any reason. Although it is said that killing one person is a crime, killing thousands of people is a hero, and killing 1,000,000 people is a hero among heroes. But Fang Fan is not a butcher who destroys humanity. If this group of people didn't want to kill him and took action, Fang Fan wouldn't take the initiative to kill them. But the current situation is very clear, this group of people sent themselves to the door to die. In this case, there is nothing to say. Everyone wants to kill me, so why don't I stick my head over there and let them chop it off? This can be regarded as a forced self-defense counterattack, right? Fang Fan nodded silently, thinking to himself, the corners of his mouth were as effective as before. This time, the feeling seemed even more real. Gradually, the various feelings became stronger. According to the consciousness and rhythm of excitement, carry out a comprehensive promotion. Isn't that what you want? This time, the effect is even more perfect. Gothic Destroyer Gatling Machine Gun Core. Full-scale shooting. Block the enemy. Wipe out all the existences below the peak demigod state. Fang Fan waved his hand, the indifference on his face was beyond words. At this moment, there were some small episodes. Lord Fang Fan. Don't kill me. I surrender. Owner. I am willing to be a slave and a handmaid. A figure popped out of the distance quickly, and then came to Fang Fan with a whoosh, with a flattering smile on his face. Caog. Fang Fan raised his eyebrows, and couldn't help showing a look of surprise on his face. This guy used to be the inspector of the city guards of Guangming God City. He had been at odds with Fang Fan before, and even tried to attack Fang Fan many times. It's just that this guy gradually came to his senses later, and felt that fighting against Fang Fan was killing him, so he gradually stopped bothering Fang Fan. Even Wangtu, the first-class saint in the Temple of the Light Alliance, threatened him, and basically did not make any special moves. Overall, it is developing in a better direction. What does it mean that this guy is rushing over now? Fang Fan raised his eyebrows, and now he doesn't quite understand. I always feel that there is some mystery in it. Is it a false surrender? It's just that he is a weak demigod. What's the point of pretending to surrender at this moment? He was a quasi-demigod before, but after entering the Buddha Palace and evolving a wave, he became a weak demigod. In the past, a weak demigod did have some strength, but now, what is a weak demigod? It's really impolite to say that this thing is rubbish, but in all aspects, it's really not high level. The kind that people don't really care about. The feelings in all aspects seem very real. That's basically it. Consciousness is clear, feelings are gathering, and everything is silent. Are you sure you want to surrender at this time? If you pretend to surrender, I will kill you directly, and you will have no good end. If you come to surrender sincerely, haven't you seen the current situation outside? At the moment, there are 6 supreme quasi-demigods who want to kill me. Involved in the Temple of the Light Alliance, the Temple of Darkness, and even the Protoss. They come and get up and kill me for me. Is the timing of your surrender now a bit too hip? Fang Fan raised his eyebrows, and while talking, a sneer appeared on the corner of his mouth. While speaking, his eyes trembled slightly, and various consciousnesses frantically churned in his mind. That's basically it for this wave. The rhythm is very real, and the idea is also very real. Only by holding on to the present moment can there be hope and follow the all-round fantasy. For the rest, it's silently sand sculpting. Tossing to the end has no meaning or value at all. Lord Fang Fan, I came here to surrender because of you. If it's the icing on the cake, I won't come. If you have completely exposed your true level, then there will be too many people who want to follow you, and I will not be conspicuous. I want to take refuge in you before everyone sees your potential, so that I can leave a certain place in your heart. This subordinate just wants to tie his property and life to you firmly. After this battle, the situation in this world will change completely. I can clearly see that the one who will rule the world in the future must be Master Fang Fan. Master Fang Fan wants to ascend to God's domain. That's easy. If Lord Fang Fan shows mercy and can take me to God's domain, then, that subordinate will certainly die. If it doesn't work, this subordinate is also willing to protect this piece of foundation for Mr. Fang Fan in the lower realm. I will let the entire lower realm create a sculpture of Master Fang Fan, and attract countless followers for Master Fang Fan. Boom. Bang bang bang. Caog knocked his head on the ground, making loud noises. Because of his deliberate force, a trace of blood has already seeped from his forehead at this moment. The blood flowed down the cheeks little by little, and the scene looked very emotional. Just staring at it, just watching it like this, I gradually fell into the shock and couldn't extricate myself. Gradually, even the most basic movements gradually became depressed. It is more than words. Feel it more. Fang Fan couldn't help but laughed along with him. This guy knows how to assess the situation. Although looking at it from all aspects, this guy is a villain who is good at making money. But I have to say, sometimes it is really clever. If Fang Fan remembered correctly, this guy seemed to have been castrated by Commander Xiahe of the city guards of the Bright God City because of some things before. It was because of this incident that Fang Fan formed a deep hatred with him. But now this guy never mentions any deep hatred, as if there is no such thing at all. At the moment, all you see are naked interests. Oh shit. Why do I feel that this guy is more shameless and obscene than Laozi? You really have stretched and bent to the extreme. But your kid's choice must be right. Heh. Follow Fang Fanboy, and you will have good fruit to eat in the future. People are a bit ugly, but their vision is okay. Bai Piao pretended to follow and commented on the side. What you said is called a real one. The bells and whistles, the rhythm is clear. I beg Master Fang Fan to accept me. This subordinate is willing to be a war slave under Fang Fan's command. This subordinate is willing to die for Master Fang Fan. The subordinates are willing to rush forward. Shed the last drop of blood for Mr. Fang Fan. Master Fang Fan, please give me hope. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 4050. What Caog said was sincere. If it weren't for Fang Fan's previous virtues, he really thought that this guy was loyal to him. This kind of person who is good at judging the situation will not be too bad under normal circumstances. You just stay aside. As long as you don't release malice, you can live. I said. Fang Fan squinted his eyes, and when he said a word, his eyes couldn't help flickering with a different kind of brilliance. Between the words, thoughts fluttered, and consciousness was surging little by little. Master Fang Fan is willing to accept me. Subordinates are willing to sacrifice everything for Master Fang Fan. Caog's eyes lit up, and he felt as if he had found a new life. At this moment, his whole body was trembling crazily, and while he was talking, there were actually 2 lines of tears flowing down his face. I don't know whether this wave was moved or what. Anyway, this appearance followed suit. Looking at this posture, inexplicably makes the scalp tingle. Invisibly, it looks a bit showy. Hee, if I remember correctly, this guy named Caog seemed to be the dog next to Saint Wang before. What? Does Saint Wang seem to have no face? The subordinates you selected are not very good. A sneer came. Mo Tien, the first-class saint in the Dark Temple, couldn't help but scornfully said. Snort. Just a harmless dog. For the overall situation, it will not have any impact. Okay. Stop talking so much nonsense. A lot of time has been wasted now. Hurry up and continue to attack. It doesn't make any sense to keep saying this nonsense. Snort. It just ends up being very noisy. Kill. Hurry up and play. Everyone go together. One hit kill. I've waited too long for this moment. There must be no more accidents. The posture of gnashing teeth was fully displayed, and the brilliance in the eyes burst out little by little. Wang Tu is the toughest main combat faction. In addition to wanting to seize Fang Fan's divine ladder, there is still a lot of enmity between him and Fang Fan. Now is also the time to clean up one by one. Thousands of practitioners are dispatched together. 6 of them are supreme demigods. Hundreds of ordinary demigods. The rest are at least the existence of high-ranking saints and supreme saints. Such a lineup can only be said to be extremely luxurious. Looking at the past, inexplicably makes people feel trembling. All of a sudden, all kinds of consciousness fluttered in an all-round way. At least at the moment, it is true that some people can't grasp the rhythm of this random trembling. In front of Fang Fan, he never cared about the so-called number of people. Gothic Gatling machine gunners can naturally be dispatched at this moment. The current battle is also on the verge of breaking out. What should come will always come. Want to hide from here? This possibility does not exist. Those who have not yet reached the peak of the demigod state, but now they insist on running up to fight, to put it bluntly, this is actually trying to die. Knowing that it is a dead end, he still has to tirelessly sweep towards this side. Under the sweep of Gatling's legion, a powerful demigod realm, all of these people were naturally wiped out. Fang Fan is not a butcher. He also has no desire to slaughter the sky. He just simply protects himself, his relatives, his friends, and everyone he wants to protect. That's all. I just don't know why, but there are always people who insist on coming to fight him fiercely, as if they feel extremely uncomfortable if they don't fight fiercely. People are bullying and coming to the door. What can Fang Fan do? What he executed was nothing more than a counterattack in self-defense. If this is also wrong, then he really has nothing to say. Ah! Don't! My chest was directly penetrated. I don't want to die, I don't want to die. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. Fight. I will fight with you. Don't, run. Run. These people are too scary. My God. Why, how come here again? How many rounds are left? I just want to live. Why did I come here at that time? This is simply a group of demons. There was a burst of shouting from the surroundings, and my heart was already extremely anxious. While roaring, the eyeballs gradually turned red. Immediately, he gasped for breath little by little, and gradually greeted death. The god of death brushed past you, and the scythe of the god of death harvested your remaining vitality in an instant. Very simple, very easy. After being shot by the Gatling Legion of Gothic Destroyer, the scene in front of him became much clearer. At the moment, only those 6 supreme demigods are left, and there are a few remaining injured strong demigods. There are thousands of people, and there are only a few people left. The rest, all went to see the god of death. It can only be said that this is their own choice. If you choose this dead end, what can you do? This weapon is really powerful. Existences below the demigod realm have no pressure. If the Pope is not mistaken, this weapon should still be upgradable, right? And the upgrade should be those god stones. Or is it these energies? That's right, this wave looks like there's nothing wrong with it. Heh. Ha ha ha. So that's how it is. In this way, many things become much clearer. Fortunately, I didn't let you continue to grow. If these fogs can unleash an attack of the peak demigod level, then we are really dead end, the one with no hope at all. As for now, there is still some hope. Heh. Heh heh. The sneer was fully displayed, and while talking, the brilliance in the eyes became brighter and brighter. At this moment, the editor was talking, and the Dark Pope Motu seemed quite fortunate. This can be regarded as saving his life for himself. And it turns out, they really can't wait any longer. Now it has evolved into this ghostly look. Too procrastinating, who knows what will become of it? Is it? It's a pity that you are still a bit late in waking up to it after all. Why? Do you really think that with a few top demigods you can beat me? Fang Fan shook his head, then sneered. Now if these supreme demigods want to escape, there is actually still time. Now is their last chance to escape. If you missed it, that would be considered completely sinking into the present moment, and then it would be a dead end. This is no surprise at all. This wave is clear and real. While the rhythm was beating wildly, the feeling of bouncing was becoming more and more real. Aren't the rest all minor issues? After this battle, there will be no more demigods in the major forces.